to the most complex train in the world. Vectron. It's about time. Anyway, let's jump in. Let's make this thing as simple as I possibly can, which isn't going to be very simple. Let's drive the Vectron. So we'll jump in the chair like usual to take possession, but I'm going to get up again straight away because I want to turn on CIFA and PZB. No point turning on LZB because it's not an LZB route, but you can. We'll leave our lights on auto because I'm going to show you something cool. Alright, let's continue with our setup. Let's put the master key in. Let's cut in the train brake. Let's put her into forward. So far so good. Stir 'em. Dimmed, I think might be better. High beams dimmed, there we go. Release the parking brake.
RFB.
Turn on AFB. Should probably put on, we've got some brakes on, that's fine. So we're on our train brake. Let's have a look at our headlights. So we'll do white lights only. There we go. We should have white lights only on the front now. We've got one at the top. That's pretty good. If we change this to high beams complete. There we go. Now they're on. Beautiful. Okay, so we've got our lights on. Our signal has not yet gone green. Next thing to do, we've turned on AFB, so let's set 40 because we should be in monitoring and push the button on the top. So we are set at 40, I can see on the speedometer over here. I think I've done everything to set this up. I think. Did I mention it was the most complex locomotive ever? Oh, there's one other thing that you may have to do. We don't have to do it today because we are in Austria, so we do have the right power. And we have Austria 1.5 or 15 kilovolts. And we can have German 15 or 25. We have Austrian 25. Czechoslovakia, I assume, and France. CH? No, couldn't be Czechoslovakia. I'm a donkey. Anyway, the train is set up ready to go. I think you can actually move your speedometer around too and make it on a different screen, but we won't do that right now. We're still waiting for our signal. So I think we're good. Brakes are still on. We might as well start those releasing actually. We'll just put a little bit of brake on. That'll just help charge the train up. That's always a good thing to do while we wait. Meanwhile, we'll sit outside and go Vectron. Because you do. Now that really only makes sense if you've seen the short video. There's this girl showing off a Bentley and then the train driver goes, Vectron. But anyway, to me it makes sense. Still waiting for our signal. Probably waiting to follow him actually. The OBB 4024 just leaving the platform over there. Makes sense, passengers going first. So I think we're good to go. I don't think I've forgotten anything. Cut in the brakes. Yes. Master keys on. Yes. Wipers are down here if you need them. All very good. And can we go? Can we go? How about now? No? What about now? No? Okay. I'll wait. I'll be patient. Shall we listen to the horn? Now, one of the cool things about this, I don't know why you can do this, but you can actually turn half the horn off. Or you can turn off the other half. Well, whatever suits your fancy. You can turn things on and off. If you really want to. Can you tell I'm just trying to kill time while I'm waiting for this signal to go green? Oh, we wait before we can fang it. Did I mention Vectron? Anyway, I know a lot of people have been waiting a long time for this. The Vectron had a lot of involvement from actual Vectron drivers. We're there. Brakes off. Power on. Should see the power start to come up. brakes have been released and we are starting to cruise. We should just go straight up to 40 kilometers an hour. We are in monitoring. You can see the 70 flashing away and the warning that says Überschwung 45 kilometers an hour. Oh, it makes the most delightful noises, this thing. Let's open the window. That's Seafer. So I've answered the Seafer. Now, PZB helper is telling us it's not safe to release. Mainly because the last signal it saw was at stop, which is of course true. Once we go past this one, it should be safe to release and then we can power up a bit. Notice the train's maintaining its own speed quite happily. That has gone, so it's now safe to release. So we can give it some more power and set our speed up. We're allowed to do 100. We're a freight train, so we'll be limited to that anyway. Oh yes, we must press the button, I forgot. Thank you, helper. There we go. And off she goes. Vectron. So she's quite a complex one to get going, but once you get her going, she's sweet as. And the sounds are just awesome. We appear to be heading towards a red signal, so I should probably do something about that. Just acknowledge the PZB and it's warning me to slow down. Got lots of brakes on. Hopefully enough. Seafer? Oh, it wasn't enough and it's given me a Swangbremsung. I tried to stay ahead of the braking curve, but it wasn't enough. That's okay. But now I have to figure out how to get out of this. Acknowledge that. Release that. And we will want to put this right back down to 40 again. And click is the button. But we can't do very much because we've got a red signal. But I think we have actually done enough to release the train. So I think it'll let me drive. We'll just crawl towards the red signal. So when you get a Zwang-Bring-Sung, emergency stop, it's easy enough to get out of. So we'll just crawl up towards the red and hope that it changes by the time we get there. Vectron. This is a truly magnificent beast. The people who are involved in it that I was chatting with in beta, who were real drivers of this thing, are ecstatic about it. It makes the right noises, it drives the right way, all the controls work, you can do all the magic things like changing power. Its PZB works properly, its LZB works properly, everything works properly. The only downside is we've caught up with a commuter train. And we're now back in monitoring because we were naughty. And we didn't get down below the PZB braking curve in time. Probably because we were silly in not taking into account the fact that there was a commuter train in front of us. There we go. Alright. And give it lots of beans, because I have set the speed back to 40 with AFB, so we're all good there. We won't go over the monitoring speed.
Zugbeeinflussung. Zugbeeinflussung.
Just acknowledge that restriction there. Cipher again. We shall just cruise along because we're probably going to come to another red signal any second now. Everything about the Vectron makes me happy. I just like driving it. I hadn't been in it for a few weeks, but it's very pleasant. I managed to figure it all out again, so I'm happy. The first time I got in this thing, I think it took me nearly an hour before I gave up and went, Lucas, help! But having been through all the bits and pieces, and if you follow along with the bouncing ball like I did, you'll be fine. Well, it's gone green, so we can, well, not quite green, but we can continue on again.
Zugbeeinflussung.
AFB up a little bit. We probably shouldn't go up too much because we've got that commuter in front of us anyway, and we'll only catch up with it again. Vectron. Vectron. Red signal's not for me, fortunately. Anyway, you've seen how to stop her, you've seen how to start her, you've seen how to set her up, you've seen how to reset after a zwang bremsung. Not that I actually meant to do that, but that's okay. Now you know how to do it. So we shall leave the Vectron to run off into the sunset. What a terrible place to leave the train. Wait till we're out of the platform. And we should leave the Vectron to run off into the sunset and be a happy little train. So, if this has been helpful for you, give the channel a subscribe. There's lots of other tutorials for Train Sim World 4 in the playlist. So enjoy yourselves and see you later. And the only other thing I can say is Vectron. Vectron.